Hey everybody, let's take a look at and install this DOMETIC RTX 2000 12-volt air conditioning system. I paid $2,800 including shipping. Looks like it's about $3,000 now. Let's see what it comes with. Some directions, a couple different rubber gaskets, some mounting brackets and hardware, and this interior trim shroud.
The shroud is massive, I get it. If you cut a hole this big and you need to use the braces wider for whatever your truck application is, they give you this really big shroud that'll allow you to cover up a bigger hole if you needed to. I'm gonna make a frame around it, a wood frame box, so that this is gonna get discarded. Comes with an inline fuse, an 80 amp for the 12 volt, I think a 40 amp in here for the 24 volt. They give you some nice split loom, and there's two wiring harnesses. They both have this little 2-pin computer plug on it. This is for the 12 volt application, and this is for the 24 volt application.
And I chose an area near the rear of the van because, for one, the bedroom's going to be there, and there are double metal supports that will support the weight of this air conditioner while I'm bouncing down the road. Here you can see the cutout shape that I'm going to cut in the roof, and that little dog leg there is to reduce the size of the overall hole that I end up cutting. And I'll explain that in a little bit. That little dog leg is for the wiring housing. Quick pro tip here, if you have a trash barrel underneath, it'll catch your scraps and your dust.
Here's the actual roof template they give you. I'll show you just 19 by 15 and a half. And I ended up doing about 15 and a half by 16 with my the little dog leg that kicked out for the cable. And I think they just account for that here, because essentially mine looks like that. And they just have you cut the whole thing out. And this is just roof that you can keep. My seal goes around like that. And I just don't think you need this big a hole. It's only a couple inches, but save the material on your roof and make a smaller hole.
Here I'm just applying the rubber surround that came with it. It's just a single-sided tape. And I chose to add some Sikaflex polyurethane to the inside and outside of that rubber surround as well. Grab your strongest friend and have them help you with the air conditioner. It's 76 pounds. You good?
Mm-hmm. Should I come over? Is this gonna hold me?
Yeah.
And I just gotta get this cable through first. These rails are what pulls down on the unit. So you can see how the bolt goes through there. But I'd like for my bar not to go into the ceiling and on this frame. So I'm gonna move it so that it's flush on metal and metal. And I'm gonna re-drill holes to find my receiver threads. Shout out to this drill bit set. Magnum Super Premium drill bits made in the USA. Norseman Drill and Tool. Comes with so many bits, up to 1/2 inch. So careful when you're pulling these out, because they'll slice your fingers. I've done it. So basically I'm just drilling a hole here to change the locations of the bolt mounts, and once I drill this hole, I'll measure over the same distance as what these were so that I know that it'll line up. Now we'll do it to the other one. So I had to cut these bolts.
They were too long because the the thicknesses of your ceiling mounting point are going to be different. I had to cut these bolts a little bit, and I had to cut the bolts at 2 different lengths by about 1/2 inch because, as you can tell, this pinch ended up being one of the spots where I drilled a hole, and it's about 1/8 inch thick versus the bar where the other hole is, which is about 3/4 of an inch thick. So I cut the bolts at a different length so that this thinner spot has a shorter bolt and it has the same depth plunge as the other one. There we go. So now you can see that my bar makes it to the end here. This is my new hole. My cut threaded bolt makes it all the way over to this beam here, which goes all the way across. And that's my new hole and my cut bolt. And then you just suck it down, and when you're doing it, you can see the unit get pulled down. And I just want to make sure it's nice and snug. I don't want to over tighten it. And then I want to go up on the roof and make sure that my gasket has squished down all around, especially on the sides. This roof does have a concave profile, so I got to make sure that as it rolls down on the sides, I'm getting a good seal on the left and the right. So let's go on the roof and check out how it looks. Life's too short for lame socks, y'all. Get yourself some fun socks before you hit the grave. All right, let's see how it's looking. Oh yeah, she's squished down now. It's nice and snug, it's tight. It's not going anywhere. I will give it a water test. Test these vents, test this AC, give it a good hosing. You know, spray underneath it, make it seem like you're driving in a rainstorm. If it does leak, what I would do is release the bottom bars, lift the AC unit out, place it up top, and I would go around that rubber ring on top of the rubber ring with Sikaflex 252. And then I would carefully place the AC down on top of that and then re-fasten the mounts. If you put a layer of polyurethane between that rubber seal and the bottom of the AC, and you know that that's making contact when you suck down on the mounts, there's no way that's gonna leak. So we got our 2 vents installed and the Dometic RTX 2000, and we are gonna continue now on the roof rack. Thanks for watching. Sorry I didn't show the vents going in, but there's a million videos online of fantastic fans and other kind of fans going in on RV roofs, so please look that up if you have any questions. I will include updates in future videos here on YouTube for the Dometic RTX 2000, especially regarding the wiring and how we finished the inside trim. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.